All right, hello and welcome to Northwestern Admission's version of Monday Night Football. I'm Andrew Linehan. I'm an Associate Director of Admission in the Office of Undergraduate Admission here. I want to welcome in all of our admitted students to our final digital programming session. We've had a number of videos trying to give you insight into the Northwestern experience and all the kind of values of being a part of this committee. And we thought this was a good one to bring it home, to talk about kind of the value of school spirit and a community that has a lot of camaraderie and what that does to you, not just for your 4 years at Northwestern, but what it might do for you for the rest of your life. I'm a big believer. I was a student at Northwestern. I graduated in 2005 from the School of Journalism. One of the reasons I committed was I wanted a balance between top tier academics and great athletics, but I was a sports fan, so that was natural for me to want that in a college. I think over the course of my 4 years, I realized the nuance of what tremendous athletic program and what school spirit does for not just sports fans, but non-sports fans too. One of the friends that went to the football games with me and stood in the student section, and kind of the idea of rooting for something that you are in together, and rooting against other people instead of rooting amongst yourselves, I think really helps an environment that could otherwise be cutthroat. And most of you, I'm sure, wanted a top tier academic environment. But at the same time, you're coming to a place that has this great diversity, right? 8,000 undergraduates coming, descending on a half-mile wide by a mile slab of real estate. And they're in it for top tier academics, and they're intellectually engaged. They want to be stimulated. They're ambitious. They're going to be successful when they graduate. But then you throw this other layer on, and this idea of school spirit, and this idea that we can be in this kind of top tier academic environment, but all be friends with each other. And I can't tell you how much that impacted my experience. And a lot of people will tell you that it impacts their experience from a lot of different ways. And so we wanted to bring in someone that I think can really articulate that, and is in a good position to do so. He's a graduate of our School of Education and Social Policy, which is one of the 6 schools we have at Northwestern. But I think it's not a coincidence that coming from a school of education, he's one of the best educators in college football. And he's our head football coach. He's a Northwestern Hall of Famer. He's a college football Hall of Famer. As a player, he led us to the Rose Bowl, which in the mid-90s was something that no one in the college football scene envisioned a program like Northwestern doing. And then he came on as our head coach, the Dan and Susan Jones family head football coach, and he's had nothing but success since then, and really kind of taken our program and our community to heights of kind of being known as a school that does football well, and kind of shines that light onto all these other areas of the university, and really accentuates kind of what the value of a Northwestern experience is. So bring in Coach Fitz, Coach Pat Fitzgerald. How you guys doing? How's the family holding up? How's Stacy and the boys?
Yeah, doing great, Andrew. Thank you for the opportunity to be on tonight, and to all of our future Wildcats. It's an honor to be with you, and look forward to having some fun here over the next half hour.
Awesome. We're delighted to have you, and we appreciate you taking the time. While I invite the admits to kind of start asking questions, as we want it to be about them, we want them to get their questions across and have their questions answered by you. You guys can start chatting, leaving your questions in the chat box there on the YouTube live page. We'll just start out with kind of a question of, from your perspective, and I think you offer an interesting perspective as one who has gone through the 4-year experience as a student athlete, but now kind of in this leadership position in the community. What are some of the values, acknowledging that you're in this top tier academic environment? What are some of the values you see in a community that also has this tremendous amount of school spirit? What does that do for a student or for a student athlete?
Yeah, Andrew, without a doubt, it gives you the full experience. You know, when you get education like Northwestern, it's second to none at this level of athletics. And so, we talk to all the prospective student athletes that are going to come here to play football. We talk about making a 40-year decision, not just the next 4 or 5 years, but it's a lot of social opportunity, social experience, an opportunity to really have, in the football context, 7 Saturdays in the fall where our whole community, current students, former students, non-Northwestern alums come together and have a lot of fun around a 3-hour window around a football game. So, we get to throw a party every Saturday in the fall, and we only get 7 of them at Ryan Field. And there's nothing better than Big Ten football. And you combine that with the Northwestern academic experience. By far, it's the best of both worlds.
Kind of related to that the party on a Saturday. Lauren has a question. What are some of the game day traditions for undergraduates? What were some of I don't know how much you got to experience as a player, but certainly you're around it.
Yeah, great question, Lauren. And hopefully, congrats on being admitted to you and your family, and hope to see you this fall. Well, one of the best traditions that we have is the running of the freshman class. So, when we embark in our first home game when the students are here, the freshman class will run the whole field at Ryan Field into the student section. And it's a welcoming from Northwestern athletics, Northwestern football, to all of our newcomers into the athletics family. And hopefully we play well. You guys enjoy the experience. And then, when you really think about it, you got 7 home games a year. For the upperclassmen, it's a little easier for them to come back. For the freshmen, it's maybe, 3 or 4 games, depending on how our schedule works itself out. But if you do that math, you got maybe 16 or so games in your career that you can be a part of. And it goes fast, without a doubt, but there's nothing better than a fall in Ryan Field, fall day.
That's for sure. So I know we're obviously probably going to have some student athletes on this chat, and they're going to be playing, across our 19 varsity sports at the highest level. There's a lot of students, though, that are going to commit to Northwestern in a lot of different capacities and want to get involved with the athletic program extracurricularly. Can you talk about, yes, we have 5% of our student body are varsity athletes, but there's so many more students that are going to be able to take advantage of big time college athletics. Talk about some of those players.
Yeah, well, even beyond the rec opportunities and the intramural teams that we have, which it's second to none, it's just an absolutely phenomenal experience if you want to stay involved in sports or try something new. And that's the best part about college, is trying new experiences and learning and growing and expanding in your palette, so to speak, of experience. There's ample opportunities. I mean, I just think about our football program. We have student assistants in our video department. We have them in our athletic training room, in our equipment room, in our recruiting offices, those that help out with our coaches, just to name a few. I know I'm missing a handful. So huge opportunities to be a part of the football program in particular. And I know that goes across our entire athletic department, not only maybe the intimate from a standpoint day-to-day of the team, but maybe from a ticket standpoint, marketing, the business side too, and learning and growing while you're in the undergraduate space to figure out if that's something that you want to be a part of for life after Northwestern. So that's a cool thing. Again, in the backyard of Chicago, you got an unbelievable opportunity to be a part of one of the best sports cities in the world. And you do it while you're in a top 10 academic experience. I mean, who doesn't want to be a part of that environment? It's pretty sweet.
Nathan has a fun one. He wants to know what, in your opinion, what's the best instrument in the marching band?
Well, how could I forget NUM, Northwestern University Marching Band? It's a huge part of our game day experience. It's a huge part of our football program. And, typically wherever the Wildcat football team goes, the Northwestern University Marching Band, or acronym for NUM, is with us. So first and foremost, I want to say thank you. If there's any NUM alum parents that are listening in the background, or any of those incoming students that want to join NUM, I look forward to having a great time with you. But I played the saxophone in the 6th grade, so I'm a little biased. So I'm a saxophone kind of guy. We've had some trumpets here in our family, but big fan of the sousaphone, the big one, the big dog. You can carry that around on a college Saturday. You got some leg strength and some toughness. So big fan of the sousaphone.
So the marching band, am I assuming correctly that the marching band gets to practice in this new palace as well? Or are they still outside?
Well, combination of both, just like us. Yeah, there's a combination of both where they'll, be on Hutchinson Field and Martin Stadium, and then also in the Ryan Field House on Wilson Field. So a lot of great opportunities, but all that is to get prepared for game day on Ryan Field. So there's nothing like it. And you guys are, I believe, all on YouTube. So when we wrap up, go YouTube some of our games over the last couple of years. Take a look at, a couple of big wins at Ryan Field, and then maybe the 2018 Big Ten championship game. We ended up not winning that game, but still a lot of fun. And then piggyback that with the Holiday Bowl win in San Diego. So a lot of great times, a lot of fun. And just, again, there's nothing better than a fall Saturday at Big Ten football.
I have a great question for you because it's going to allow us to talk about this Big Ten championship game a couple years ago. Sam asks, for games like that Big Ten title game, who all has a chance to attend outside of just the players and coaches?
Yes, Sam. Well, we could probably send the articles. One of our amazing, supportive families made a donation to allow all of our students that wanted to go. A ticket, food, water on the way down there, a bus ride down to the game, and then to take in the game. It was awesome. It was an awesome environment. It was great to see all of our amazing student support. And I just was frustrated that I didn't get the win for the students, but at the same time, we bounced back and got the Holiday Bowl championship. But that was an amazing experience. We've been really close a couple other years of making it too. And we'll be back there very soon. We just need all the students to fill Ryan Field up and make it a real tough home field advantage. So hopefully my recruiting pitch here is getting everybody to commit to being a Wildcat by this Friday, and then showing up, once we start playing football again.
I know the Big Ten title game wasn't a bowl game per se, but I always tell prospective students, or when I'm talking about, the alumni, the power of the alumni network and how you're constantly meeting all these alums. I've said that you have graciously brought to Northwestern this idea of 2 reunions a year, right? We have the regular reunion weekend at Ryan Field in the fall, and now we essentially go to a bowl game or a Big Ten title game every year, and that ends up being kind of this other reunion with alums. So that's been really, really cool.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to participate in those parties, so maybe someday after I retire. They sound like a great time, but no, the championship game was ridiculous. It was exactly what you just said, Andrew. You just see all the alums come back, be a part of that game, along with our student body. We took on a pretty darn good football team that day, but it was still a blast, and I look forward to getting everybody back there very soon.
Awesome. Miles has a question. Wanted to just talk about this new facility just a little bit. And I know, and I'll let you talk about his question, which is what kind of impact has this facility had on recruiting. But I also kind of want to broaden that into what kind of impact has it had on the student body, because all the gyms were renovated. I think intramurals and club sports get to utilize it. So if you could, for the 95% of students that are not going to be Division I student athletes that might not know about this new facility, kind of just talk about how it sets a scene on campus.
Well, the northeast corner of campus, just south of the beach, is the Ryan Field House and Wilson Field, which is as palatial of an indoor facility as there is in the country. The field can be split up then into 3 small subset fields. One of my favorite traditions that I have is on Sundays when we're grading our video, I go, once we're done, I go for a walk indoors around Ryan Field House or out along the lakefront path, depending on how the weather is. And if I'm inside to see all of our intramural football teams playing, it's a great tournament to watch. I've been asked to referee a few games, call a few plays. So they've all worked and they've all been the right calls. So I'll make sure that I'm being full disclosure. And then, it's great. I've walked in and seen Ultimate Frisbee, like you talked about. The band has been in there, multiple camps that are run through there for summer activities in ways that a lot of our students like to get back in the summer and help young people out. And then, the Walter Athletic Center is second to none, where our football training facility is adjacent right there to the Ryan Field House in Wilson Field. So state of the art, it's unbelievable. And then when you go outside, Martin Stadium and Hutchinson Field are both field turf areas for intramurals and quite frankly, just for recreation. I mean, you go out on my way home at night, the lights are still on, and, watching all of our students out, either playing with the Frisbee, playing squash ball. I don't even know what all the games are everybody's playing, but having a good time. I've got a great view of it from my office, and they get pretty heated. So basically, whenever we're not practicing or a varsity sport is not practicing or playing on those fields, those spaces are pretty much available to our entire student body, faculty, and staff. So it's been a win-win for everybody. Like you said, the intramural courts, the adjacencies with the cardio equipment that was put in there, the new swimming and diving center that's in there for us. The list goes on and on from a benefit for all of our students. And then the new workout center in the Henry Crown Sports Pavilion, let me say that 100 times fast, is just absolutely state of the art. So win-win for everybody. And then obviously an opportunity then for the Evanston community to be a part of it too. So a lot of fun and a lot of great interaction. So what I like best about it is everybody's integrated. It's an opportunity for everybody to come together. For over 100 years, the football program was somewhat isolated out at Ryan Field. Now to have us fully integrated, our largest roster team in the athletic department to be right in the heart of campus, and for our students to be able to come watch us practice when we're outside is a lot of fun.
It was really the last missing piece, right? I mean, because I think from a non-athletic perspective, a non-student athlete would tell you, certainly I would tell you, that one of the coolest parts to me about Northwestern being a mid-sized university instead of this huge state school is that you were integrated with the athletes during classes, in residence halls. Some of my greatest memories were being in a class and having a school project, and to my right was Trey Essex and to my left was Carrie Bechet. And 6 years after graduation, on my social media feed, Trey's winning Super Bowls and Carrie's winning Oscars, and it's like that's the value of the Northwestern experience, not just for your little area, but you're exposed to this many different aspects of life.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and absolutely. And I think that's, again, why everybody that's watching this applied. You want it all, and you can have it all at Northwestern. It's the top 10 academic experience, but that's the classroom, and that's amazing. But it also from a standpoint to grow, as you embark on this journey of growth throughout college, the social experience is a big part of it. And there's a great Greek, fraternity scene, a great social scene, great sports scene with Big Ten athletics. But like you said, a full integration of the campus community. It's great to have everybody on campus for 2 years. We're going to mix our team up, and I know the rest of the athletic department does, but we're going to mix our squad up. If I have, 20 freshmen, there might be a couple in each dorm. We try to keep them as much as we can on the north side with the proximity to our facility. But at the same time, like you said, someone's going to play in a Super Bowl, someone's going to win a Academy Award, someone's going to cure cancer. The list goes on and on. And when I was a student, I was from a suburban Chicago school, but I was naive, and I grew a lot. And I look back to think about the formative years that shaped me to who I am today as a husband and a father, and someone that's in a leadership role in a program. Those first few years on campus definitely shaped who I am today.
Awesome. All right. So Kate wants to get down to X's and O's, and Kate's asking how the football team's shaping up for the upcoming year.
Yeah, Kate, appreciate the question. We had 8 practices in our spring practice phase prior to everything kind of being shut down to take on the pandemic. So feel like we got ahead, feel like we really improved. When I talk to our guys, we meet with them for 8 hours throughout the week now on Zoom, 2 hours a day, Tuesday through Friday. They're chomping at the bit to get back. They can't wait. Obviously our priority same thing for your families, and I hope everybody's healthy and safe. And we're doing our part to be great citizens and doing a terrific job of, especially here, we've got a shelter in place order, and hopefully we're all doing our part. But, just really excited to get back together. I think when you have something taken from you, that's when you really realize how special it is. And the relationships that I think our guys forged, not only on our team and our athletic department and the entire campus community is something that we greatly miss, and can't wait to, be a big catalyst. I think hopefully when we return to campus, we return to football, and we know what we have to do to handle our business and to be ready and prepared and control what we can control. But my hope is when we get the green light to get things back going, that football does its part, and that's what brings our campus community together. Our new students, our returning students, and our alums, and everybody that loves Northwestern University coming back together. And we know that we need to be prepared, and we will be.
Certainly. Coach, I want to jump in with a question because I want to talk about the power of our alumni network. And I think that you bring an interesting perspective to it. One, because I think you can talk to your student athletes about it, but also I think something that's really special, that's indicative of our alumni network on both sides of the equation, is this NU for Life program that the athletic department has set up and established. And you can explain a little bit about the program, but I know the athletic department's mantra is this kind of 40 is greater than 4, right? Where you're not committing to Northwestern for a 4-year experience, you're committing for a 40-year experience. And certainly that pertains to 100% of our student body, not just the student athletes. I think the NU for Life program, I'm sure you've witnessed not only what it's done for your student athletes while they're in school at Northwestern, but also the alumni network that is so gracious and wants to bring all of these current students in to get them set up for the real world. Would you mind talking a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of great isms in the world. And one of the great isms, it's not always what you know, it's who you know. And when you can leverage and harness the power of our amazing alums, it is truly the magic key that opens up the magic door of opportunity. Now, ultimately, you've got to be the one that earns the education. You earn the preparedness from doing internships and summer jobs, and really diversifying your resume and doing the things that need to be done while you're in the undergraduate experience. But in the athletic department, the Capilla NU for Life program is an umbrella program for all of our athletes that is second to none. It's mentorship, resume building, interview techniques, you name it. It's A to Z, from helping our student athletes realize the power of the alums, but also then preparing them for our opportunity to be around them and how to handle yourself, how to properly present yourself. And I will tell you this, it's a lot less about the phone and a lot more about eye contact and shaking hands and really selling yourself. And the best part about being a Northwestern student is you can be completely honest. It's when you're with our alums, they know, they've walked our halls, they've been up and down Sheridan Road, they've lived in Sargent Hall, they've been in Annenberg Hall, they've been to games at Ryan Field and Welsh Ryan Arena. They've walked it and they're talking it, and they're out there being successful. And so really, truly, all you have to be able to do is put your phone down and be able to build a genuine relationship. And so that's the art of it, is being able to truly be almost in somewhat old school in your approach to looking people in the eye, being proud to be a Northwestern Wildcat, and being humble enough to know that for you to be successful in life, you're going to need people to help you. And our NU for Life program is one of those areas where it gives our alums, our athletic alums, and all of our alums an opportunity to have access to all of our student athletes. And it's something that definitely separates ourselves, and it's just a small piece of a bigger pie, man. When you talk about, all the great resources that the university has to provide for all of our nearly graduating, junior and soon to be senior students from a job placement standpoint. I mean, ultimately that's why you're going to college, right? Is be prepared for the life after school. But at the end of the day, it's critically important that we have structure and provide that for the students while they're here on campus.
All right, I think the last question from Kevin, or penultimate question, because I have a question to sign us off. But Kevin wants to know, he wants you to go back in the time machine. It was just yesterday anyway. Think about your time as a student. And he wants one of your favorite athletic memories and one of your favorite non-athletic memories.
Yeah, Kevin, back in my day, we used to wear these big neck rolls underneath our shoulder pads. It made us look real big. So, those days are over, buddy. So, Prince was pretty cool back in the day when I was playing, God rest his soul. And, we party like it was 1999, even though it was 1995. So no doubt walking in the Rose Bowl, unbelievable seeing the purple and white in the end zone, the San Gabriel's in the distance. That's Big Ten football at its finest, and something that I drive our team every day to work to be the destination. And then as a coach, there's 2 days, one that's been reoccurring, and then one that happened recently. The reoccurring is graduation day. We identify as a program, young men currently that come into our program that are 15, 16, 17 years old, and to see them walk across the stage with their family on graduation weekend is words can't even describe how spectacular that weekend is. And it's just really something special. And then on the field, without a doubt, leading the squad into the Big Ten championship game. It's something that is our goal every year. It's, to win the Big Ten West, our division, which means we go play in the Big Ten championship game, and then ultimately to win that game. So that was something that was both those are absolutely spectacular.
So I want to get you out of here with this last question, because we had our university president, Morton Shapiro, goes by Morty, on last week for a Q&A with the parents. And one of the questions he got was, what are our football team's chances of winning the Big Ten next year? I personally would like to go straight to the source. And before we leave, just have you answer that question.
Well, we try to keep, you talk about macro goals and micro goals, right? And so in the micro, it's to go 1-0 each week and just win the week. If we win the week and we keep moving on and stay humble and keep working, we put ourselves in position to have a great November. We win November, we win the Big Ten West Championship. 2 years ago, we went 8-0 in the Big Ten West Division. We've had some great runs. We had a little bit of injury issues last year, but most of the guys are back and they're healthy. And they're fired up to get back there. So I don't believe in guarantees, but I will tell you our macro goals are to win the West, to win the Big Ten championship, and to win our bowl game, which obviously the number one bowl game that we want to play in is the Rose Bowl. So everybody better put some eye black on for the glare, tape their ankles a little bit. You Wildcats that are going to be here, I can't wait for you to run out onto Ryan Field and make that place raucous and have fun. And if you haven't put your deposit in, Friday's the day, and I'm going to find out where you are and hunt you down. All right, make sure you put that deposit in, and I'd love to share your experience. I wouldn't be where I'm at today without Northwestern University. I feel forever indebted for the academic experience, the social experience of meeting people outside of maybe my little world that I was in high school, and meeting a worldwide student body and growing and developing and enriching myself in relationships with people that maybe I would have never met if it wasn't for Northwestern, while being in the backyard of Chicago and competing at the highest level in Big Ten athletics. You can have it all here. The only missing ingredient to the whole big pie is you. So we hope to see everybody putting the purple and white on, and then we'll go Gothic for you, and we'll get some of the sweet old school stuff too. So everybody likes swag, and we got plenty of Under Armour swag. So hope everybody joins the Wildcat family. Andrew, thanks for the opportunity to be with you. And if you come to Northwestern, you better learn, go you Northwestern. It's our fight song. We sing it with you after every win, and we're proud to be your football team. So thanks a lot, buddy. Go Cats, everybody.
Thanks, Coach. We really appreciate it. Appreciate you being here. You're an inspiration to everybody. You jack people up. Hopefully you jack them up enough to deposit by Friday, because there's a lot of special experiences to come, not just on the football field, but being inspired by community leaders and alums like you. So we appreciate you. We appreciate your time, and thanks everybody for tuning in. And let the admission office know if you have any other questions throughout the week. All right, go Cats.